Let's bring in Carter Intelligence Group founder and CEO Lee Carter. Pollster Lee Carter. Let's talk about how the polls got not just Hong's loss so wrong, but also Abdul al-Sayed's slight victory so wrong. So if you look at the last five polls, they all had her up by almost 20 percentage points or more. On average of the last five polls, she was leading by 22.8 percentage points, and she lost by half of 1 percentage point. If you go back to Abdul al-Sayed, 14-point lead. He won by 1 point. And the betting markets are even worse. Hong's chances of winning as of 3 o'clock yesterday on Kalshi, almost 95%. It looks suspect. It looks like somebody had their foot and thumb and elbow and head on the scale trying to keep voters at home.
You know, it's really hard to understand because I've been a defender of the polls because even though everybody says the polls always get it wrong, they're usually within margin of error. These are extreme swings that are way out of the margin of error. So the question is there something else going on? Or my other question is, have people overcorrected on likely voters to the point that we've now overestimated people that say that they're going to vote and not? Now, it used to be way back that the only time that you would count in a poll was if you were somebody who is likely to vote or has proven that you voted before. That didn't work in 2016. So we had a whole lot of pollsters who said, let's come up with different algorithms and try to predict who's likely to vote. I can't help but wonder if we've not overcorrected. But this is extreme overcorrection that I really want to explore and understand because it does not make sense. What the results are teaching us is something that's very different. The results are teaching us that Americans are more reasonable than we think they are, number one. And number two, I think that Americans are responding to messages where people are fighting for them, not against the other party. Every time you see a big loss, it's that big message of we're going to be lost without this. You know, we're fighting against these people. Those people are dismissed. It happened over and over again. It happened in 2024. It's happened most recently. It happened in 2020. If you fight, say we're so scared of the boogeyman, that doesn't motivate people to vote. When you say we're going to fight for you and we're going to bring affordability back, we're going to fight for these causes, we're going to fight for you, the American people, not against the other party. That's what resonates, and that's what we're seeing win.
Well, let's take that over to the Maine Senate race, because you got new Fox News polling out tonight. Democrat Troy Jackson, Graham Plattner's not so promising replacement, now holding a 2-point lead over Republican Susan Collins. That's better than how Plattner was polling in June. He was down 3 points from Susan Collins. So, it's a new state of play, new race. You got the polling. I've heard many times in Maine, if the Republicans down by a couple points, it usually means they're up when it comes to the actual election. How do you read all this?
Well, I read that in the same way that you do. I think it's actually good for Susan Collins that she's within the margin of error, because when you also look at polling in Maine, many people in Maine are very upset with the state of play. They're very, very unhappy about their future prospects. They're very unhappy with the economy. They're very distrustful of institutions, and they want change. The fact that they're saying that we are within a margin of error on change is telling me that he's not going to win. I think she's got a good shot here. If she gets her message out on what she's going to do differently than she's done before, I think she's going to have no problems.
Before you go, we want to hit this. New York City's commie mayor, Zozo Mondani, weighing in on AOC's attempt to laugh off radical, destructive stances as woke one.
Do you think woke one was crazy?
Look, I think that each person has a responsibility to tell New Yorkers, to tell Americans when they're running for office what they believe. And sometimes what you believe can change. It can develop, it can grow.
Lee, woke one, and he can grin and she can giggle, literally resulted in the destruction of people's livelihoods, careers, and even drove some people to suicide. And they will never get away with people who experienced it or witnessed it with just smiling, because it meant if you made one mistake and if you had the audacity to apologize for it, it made it even worse because they smelled blood in the streets. They would destroy you. That's what it was all about. If you misgendered someone, they would, to me, I was told they need to reopen Auschwitz to gas and incinerate just you. So that's woke one among a litany of hideousness.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating in packaging because woke one makes it almost seem kind of cute and that you can laugh at it. When you look at what's inside of woke one, it was defunding the police, it was the cancel culture, it was the sort of breaking down of American values, quite frankly. And to sort of dismiss that as woke one allows them to never repeat what they said. I think it's smart messaging on their part, but I think we can't let them get away with it. This isn't just about changing your mind. And if you are changing your mind, you better say that. If you don't want to defund the police, say that. If you want something different, say that. I think it's interesting now that they're moving on to this idea of woke two, which is now to say, well, this is all about economic populism and this is all about affordability, and they're moving on and just sweeping all of that under the rug as if it never happened. And I don't think that we can afford to let them do that. But I think it's very important, though, in this moment, that Americans don't just keep reacting to this movement. If we keep reacting, we're giving them more airtime. We're giving them more voice. Instead of talking about the ideas that can actually help the American people, that can lift them out of the situation, that give more opportunities, we're responding to them. And that's the same mistake that the Democrats made with Donald Trump. Instead of trying to say, this is what our ideas are, people said that he was a fascist, that if you supported him, you were a Nazi. They talked about how dangerous it was, and they lost.
Right.
Americans, we need to be hearing what's gonna help us, not what's gonna hurt us. I think we already know these ideas are bad. Let's move on and create some room for the ideas that are gonna help the real Americans.
Lee Carter, always great stuff. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.